And then on top of that, they want me to wait 4 more months for the quote-unquote biggest update ever, like we're supposed to be getting excited for that. There's a lot of speculation in the community right now that this heist, or why I should say this island, will only be accessible to the heist and the heist only. Now, if that's the case, Rockstar is going to have to deal with a lot of backlash, probably even a lot more backlash than what they got for trying to milk GTA Online to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X across the span of 7 or 8 years. But the only way I see myself playing the game and continuing to play the game is if they actually add some stuff that's actually going to expand the map and actually expand the game in and of itself. Because at this point, we've been in Los Santos and Blaine County for over 7 years. If they can add a story expansion for GTA 5 story mode and add Liberty City, Las Venturas, Vice City, or even San Fierro from GTA San Andreas, or even the past GTA games, that will greatly expand the map and expand the game even further, because we're gonna have more stuff to explore. We're gonna have different cities to explore. We're gonna have more activities to do. We're gonna have a change in scenery, and overall it's gonna feel like that we're actually playing something new instead of playing the same game for the past almost 7 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like every single day Rockstar Games gives me more and more ammunition to go after them with every single time they announce something, or at least give some new content updates to GTA Online and even Red Dead Redemption Online. But by far, this is probably the biggest overhyped DLC and biggest disappointment of a DLC that we have gotten to date. You guys remember when Rockstar Games delayed the original GTA Online heist for 2 years after its launch, and then we finally got it in 2015 was disappointing? Or when you guys thought that when we got the announcement at the PS5 announcement for E3 this year or last year that they were going to be porting GTA 5 over to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X was disappointing? Well, this obviously is going to take the cake more than both of them put together. And now I need to clear this up from the offset. I have zero problems with Rockstar Games personally, or even Take-Two Interactive. Like I said in previous videos, Rockstar Games is my favorite video game maker in the entire industry right now, and will still be and still have a special place in my heart for how much good games they provided for me in my childhood and how I grew up with Rockstar Games. But it seems like people always try to misconstrue as what I'm trying to say as me being a Rockstar hater or me being a complainer, because you know how I somehow complain about everything that Rockstar does and how I complain and make everything a rant on my channel about Rockstar Games. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna complain about something today. Yeah, believe it or not, yeah, I got some material that I have a few words to say about with this Cayo Perico heist. Now, getting back to the Cayo Perico heist, I would say this is probably the biggest disappointment that we have ever witnessed in GTA Online's lifespan and GTA Online's history. I don't know where to begin with this, and I obviously didn't write a script for this because I don't have the time to, but I'm just gonna start from the very beginning. The GTA Online Cayo Perico heist is nothing but a glorified heist interior that was overhyped and was supposed to be hyped up as this big map expansion for GTA Online, when really the only way you can access Cayo Perico, the new island in and of itself, is first by going through a multi-million-dollar paywall, which is the submarine that we somehow actually have to have in order to access this island and actually perform the heist in and of itself. We actually need that in order to get to the island, and then when we get to the island, there's nothing to do on the island. You're restricted as ever because it's a private militarized island from El Rubio and his private militarized army that he has. You can't free roam the island in free roam. You can't go on the drag strip with your friends. You can't even go to the island in and of itself aside from scoping out the island or going to the party area that's on the island as well. No, you can't do anything aside from that. The only thing that you're restricted to on this island is scoping out areas and actually playing the heist in and of itself. And honestly, I'm not even really all that mad or upset about this, because I honestly expected something like this to happen, because I told y'all, Uncle Gwoppy told y'all in my previous GTA Online video leading up to the Cayo Perico heist that it's gonna be a disappointment if it's not accessible to free roam, and look what happened. I was absolutely right. That gut feeling that I had leading up to the DLC about how Cayo Cayo Perico, the island in and of itself, was not going to be accessible in free roam, and all it's going to be is going to be accessible only through the heist in and of itself. And now I think I made the right decision not to live stream this the day of, even though I had the day off and I could have live streamed it. But I was playing with my friend and we were both massively disappointed with how big of a letdown this DLC was. And I gotta tell you, me along with several other of my friends and majority of the community right now is pissed and disappointed. And honestly, they have every single right to be disappointed and to be upset with Rockstar Games with how big of an overhyped disaster this DLC was. And honestly, my two big words leading into this DLC before it even came out was impress me. And obviously, they didn't even do that. They didn't even impress me not one bit. Not because the heist in and of itself was terrible, or I wouldn't even say it's not as good as the other ones that we got. The casino was a better heist, and even the Doomsday heist and even the original heist was better heist than this. But really, the main thing that really disappointed me the most was the vehicles that they added. And I might talk about that later in this video, who knows, but even if I don't, I will still talk about that in a later video if I get the chance. And honestly, I'm proud of the community for voicing their frustrations towards Rockstar Games and towards the Cayo Perico heist for how big of a letdown it was. And honestly, it makes me proud to see it, because the fact that I knew, I had the gut feeling that this was gonna be a big letdown, and now the community is finally giving Rockstar the crap that they deserve for putting out subpar content, especially when they've been hyping this up for pretty much all year of 2020, really saying that this was the biggest update ever in GTA. Well, to be honest with you, at this point, the Doomsday heist was a bigger update than this will be. I tried to cut Rockstar some slack this time with how the island wasn't accessible in free mode, and actually saying that it's only inaccessible because El Rubio has a private island and it's his island. But still, that's not a reasonable excuse to let this slide. I played this with my friend, with one other person. You can do this solo. So what I decided to do was I decided to play it the first time with my friend and have him help me out, and so I can get gameplay, which is what you're seeing here on screen right now. And I tried to do it solo in my spare time. But really, this heist, I can tell you right now, I will probably never be playing this heist ever again, with how frustrating it was the first time me and my friend played this. Because first of all, you have all these guards everywhere. It's impossible to sneak anywhere, because really the first time that you scope this out, you have to do this stealth, and even the second time you still have to do it stealth. And like my friend said, we're doing stealth, or this mission is stealth in a non-stealth game. Yeah, there's gonna have some problems, and good luck trying to play it on day one. It was so bad playing it on day one that I got caught on the island, and I just got caught at random without even being spotted, and I spawned all the way back to the party section of the island. It had to catch up with my friend to actually continue to get footage and continue to do the requirements necessary to do the heist. It was that bad. Then you try to do the setup missions that is required to do this, or at least somewhat mandatory to do, and on day one it was glitching out. The characters wouldn't spawn, the necessary equipment wouldn't spawn. It was just an overall mess with the servers and how bad it was on day one. And I'm gonna be real with you here, I know I'm 2 weeks late with this video, but dude, with how dead GTA is right now, nobody's even talking about this heist anymore, aside from like the drip feed vehicles that's coming out and doing in-depth guide videos on like the weaponized vehicles, or quote-unquote weaponized vehicles that we got. Aside from that, nobody is talking about the heist anymore. This heist was that disappointing that within 2 weeks, the heist and the overall DLC pretty much basically flopped on arrival. Nobody is getting as many views on this heist anymore. Nobody's getting views at all. The only people that's getting views is the people that's doing the funny moments, like Vanoss, Wildcat, H2O Delirious, and everybody else who's doing funny moments on this heist. That's the only people that's actually making this enjoyable. And personally, I feel like the only 3 or so things that saved this DLC in and of itself and made it somewhat enjoyable is, number one, that we have Pavel, which which is the captain or like the assistant captain of the submarine that we have, and also the ending to the Cayo Perico Heist, which, if you don't know, spoiler alert, it's actually Trevor and Patricia, and El Rubio had blackmail on the Madrazo family and actually had what was in those files, pictures of them, and he was gonna threaten to release them, or I don't know. But really, that was a good laugh, and honestly, me and my friend had a good crack up when we saw that. But still, those were pretty much the only two things that made the DLC at least somewhat worth your while if you play it for the first time. And honestly, to be quite frank with you, I think GTA Online is done now. I think it's just straight done now. They overhyped this DLC. Nobody's gonna be even excited for the next one, because even if they dare to hype it up or make it somewhat good, people is still gonna point out how bad the Cayo Perico Heist was and how overhyped it was, with the multi-million-dollar paywall that you even have to buy first in order to get to the island to begin with. At this point, man, I think it's about time that we move on from GTA Online, because if in all reality, the only way that we're actually going to get a new area to explore in free roam and in online is if we get an entirely new GTA game or GTA 6. And honestly, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, or at least anytime soon, because GTA Online makes them too much money a year to pretty much stop or at least make a new project or make a new game. And I think this is the underlining issue that a lot of the community has in the GTA Online and Rockstar fan base, is that we give Rockstar too much credit where credit isn't due, and we put them on a pedestal. Because let's face it, we give them all this money. Well, I don't give them any more of my money, but the community gives them all this money a year. We give them hundreds of millions in shark cards a year. So really, they should have no excuse as to why this content is this subpar. And the fact that we give them so much slack and we don't give them any crap where they deserve it is pretty much the underlying issue. Or really, we only give them crap when it's something that we don't like, or when it's blatantly obvious and the community recognizes it right away. Rockstar is getting more and more adamant every single day with giving the community half of what they want. You want a new title from us or a new game from us? Well, here's GTA 5 on PS5 and the next gen consoles, again for the 4th time in a row. You want a new map expansion for GTA Online, or at least want a new area to explore and make it seem like that we're getting something new? Well, here's an island that you can only access if you buy a submarine for $2.3 million standard before the upgrades, which can be upwards of $9 million. And at this point, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do for GTA Online content. I honestly don't know what to do at this point, because this was the month that I was supposed to get my ad rev up, but apparently that's not going to happen now with how crap this update was and how less content I actually have here on the channel to produce for you guys. Aside from the idea of me getting GTA Online or GTA 5 for the PC when I get my gaming PC at like the end of the month in January or early February, and showcasing mods or making cinematics, that's the only idea that I can come up with for GTA 5, because as it stands, GTA Online is not going to be produced on my channel, at least as not much as I think, because of how subpar the content is and how less content I have as a content creator, might I add, for me to showcase here on my channel. And honestly, I don't know how other people in the community are going to do it, because this is how they pay their bills, and the fact that we're not going to get another update for quite some time is really, really upsetting. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. I'm honestly done. I'll have something or like another update for you guys if I get my gaming PC. I'm definitely gonna bring some mod showcases here to my channel, as at least as an idea for like the lack of content that we're getting for GTA Online. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments down below. Also, I also want to hear what you guys have to say about the Cayo Perico heist. Do you guys enjoy the heist? Do you guys disagree with me? Do you guys agree with me what I'm saying? If you agree with me or disagree, leave it down in the comments down below and we'll get the discussion popping. But with that being said, this your boy Gwop. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and I'm out, bruh.